Hey guys, welcome back to production vlog here. See, I don't have anything planned, I haven't thought about this. I did organize a track and I'll go over that really fast. I'm gonna try to keep these videos like an hour long for each part. I don't want to go over that, so I am gonna bring up the OBS once in a while to see how long I've been going. So just to go over, I'll play the track here and everything should be organized here. Hopefully you can follow along and I'll show you the entire track so you understand where we are. Okay, so up here is the lead. Here's everything we used. So when I do leads, all my tracks I always use the same colors. I set them up the same way. So that way it's easier to follow. And that way when I open up a project, I know what I'm looking at. I'm using a perfect saw and I name them what I'm using. I do a little bit of sound design on the presets that I choose, but I'm using presets from like hardcore packs or even the factory ones. Sometimes I make a sound. It depends on what I'm trying to do, but most of the time I have the sound that I need in preset form and I can just edit, do little things from there. So works for me. You can create your own sounds or it doesn't matter to me how anybody does any of it. The point is to make fun music and not use AI. um, okay, so we have the perfect saw, which is from Trance and Progressive pack from Anagram Sounds. They do a lot of hardcore sounds. It's all the J-Core producers and things like that. So that's a good one. Hardcore, which is from an Anagram pack as well. MK Shadow Serum 2. LD21, which is from Rob IYF pack. And QVS, which is a virus sound from the Virus B, but it's from a Vengeance Transsource 2001 sound. I guess it was used in a lot of Raver Baby songs. So that's what we're using for the lead. And then these are all color coded over here. And then if you follow my mouse to the mixer over here, whoops, if I can, I have it like 3 feet out. Oh my gosh. And it's color coded here. Here's the lead group. Here is the second group that we made, and then here are the names down here. Corresponds to each one. I do this. I didn't do anything on here, but if I want to, I can go through and EQ each one individually, or add effects to it, or do whatever I want to that one sound, or I can do it to the entire sound by using these buses that I did. Um, so that's that, and then the drums, the top kick, which is that recon kick, and then our actual kick, both are right here. Here the group, the beat clap, which I named here, clap, and etc. etc. They're all right here, color coded. Same with the percussion. We got chat, closed hat, O hat, open hat, ride loop, crash. All right here as well, so you can see. And then the bass, we have our mid bass. You can see here, and then the sub is playing right there. Another thing is kicks. Typically are mono because it's just anything with bass sub is mono, but kicks are good for mono because you don't need to have stereo image on the kick. So I always make those mono, and then the sub is always mono as well. Um, you won't have any benefits really from having that as a stereo unless there's some kind of effect you're trying to do. Otherwise, I would change it from mono. I would keep it mono, and it'll be good. Um, and then the mid bass, we did the EQ where we took off the stereo sound or the stereo off the lower mid section of it. And that just allows it to be more centered, I believe, and less like bouncing all over the place, and it gives us more room overall. A few other things I wanted to touch on, I didn't explain these well, was the clipper and the limiter. So a clipper cuts the sound off. So it's just you chop off the peaks of the sound, which allows you to bring the sound down and then you can raise it back up. Whereas a limiter is just hard press. The sound is raised to a certain point, so probably 0 dB or whatever you set it to, negative 0.1. And you're bringing the sound up, and instead of just getting chopped off, it just isn't allowed to go. It's like a brick wall. and that's what the limiter does. So the difference is the clipper will allow you to make more headroom for your music, whereas the limiter will just like make it louder, but like yeah. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. And you can, if you do too much, you can distort the sounds and ruin the sounds because a clipper, you're bringing your transients all down so you can destroy your sound where there's no transients and things like that. I think we're pretty good so far. Still, and if we are, whatever. I can go over some more things here. EQ. I use Pro Q. You can use the things that come with FL Studio. Those are totally fine. These are dynamic, so moves with the sound. I use Pro R2. You can use FL Studios. FL Studio has a version of all these. You don't have to use these, but I like these ones. Sometimes I use Arts Acoustic. I'm using Timeless 3. I can bring down the. I thought about this the other day. I was like, I don't need that much wet. That's the delay. And then OTT. This is why I don't need to really do compression either. First off, most of these things are compressed through here uh, in some way or another. If I look at effects, compressor. So I'm compressing. This is a multi-band compressor, so it gives you you can do the lows, highs, mid, whatever. Really nice one. But you can screw up your sound a lot if you overdo it. I tend to put time to the right a little bit more. I wouldn't worry about too much what the numbers are. Just do whatever sounds right. There isn't like a magical number. This isn't. I just put it to whatever. Um, that's just more. What do you call it? I think that's more just multi-band compression type of thing. Another EQ, the imager, because we don't want too much stereo on the lead because then it makes it too thin. So this brought it down to mono a little bit more and brought it closer to where we need it to be to make it feel like it's actually like there in the song. And then the clippers, and then I'm doing an EQ again because when you clip, it makes more bottom end. So I'm just cutting out the sound that it makes from that. Um, Sorry for saying so much. I'm just trying to think. One thing I didn't put on the lead, which I'm going to do right now, is a LFO tool. You can use Kickstart or Fruity Peak. Fruity Peak controller is another one. You'll just have to look up how to do it. But this will, so every time the kick hits now, is going to have a little bit of ducking action on the lead, so the kick can come through a little bit more. Um, very subtle. I don't want to do it too much. If I do it too much, you'll yeah. So very subtle. Okay. Let's see here. What are some things I can do now? So we need to do EQing the percussion or the percussion and the drums. How much time have I wasted talking about all this? 10 minutes. I'm gonna get all my percussion here, or all my drums, and I'm gonna play them here. This is the high. This is gonna be the point where there's the most going on. Actually, from the mixer, I want to. Oh, trim unused tracks. Right? Yes. Okay, there we go. That way I can just add more. So I just need one. This saves a little bit on CPU power, but I'm probably not using anything of my CPU. What? I want to move this over. I just used the arrow keys to do that. This is going to be our drums group. Okay, and actually we don't want it over there. We want to do right here, and I'm going to do a separator, and I'm going to bring the kick over because I don't need the kick doesn't need to be a part of this. Okay. I thought I brought the kick over. Okay. So the beat clap, the clap. Oh my gosh. the snare, and the build-up snare. So I have some presets that I'm gonna use here. Snare and actually this as well. So a little boost in the 5000K section and then a cutoff at like 216 for that snare. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other snare. Oops, just boosted it. Oh, that's a kick. I don't want to do a kick. Okay, and I want to take a look at these. So I think the snare will be around here. This one I want like right there. See, it kind of, you can still hear it, but it's not overpowering the clap now. The clap I want to, I think I'm going to decapitate it. Decapitator is another clipper type of thing, distortion type of thing. I have a preset here for the main clap that I use, and then I do my clap around -15, but I'll have to see in when I do it with everything. And then I put another decapitator on here, and I do the drums. I'm gonna set it to -15. I'm going to take out my span, and I'm gonna take a look. Looking pretty good. I'm gonna take a K clip and okay. So how's that sound with the kick? It's all right. We'll see when it in with everything going. But yeah, that's about it on that. Looks good. The next part, we'll do the same thing with the percussion. And the percussions are super easy to do. Put a separator here. Perk group. Bring these through here. Loops. Okay, and just take this, and my perks are gonna be perking. My perks are gonna perk. Perk group, and it'll just be something like this. So if you want to see what these are at, looks good to me. I don't have any of the perks enabled. There they are. Decapitator. On them at -18, and then I'll put a little clipper on them. And I should do it over here because this has a hi-hat, and I think it has a lot of high end going on over here. get this taken off. Something like that, and then I'm not liking all this going on up here. Alright, and then I'm gonna do the same to the drums really fast. Sorry. It goes through here, and then we'll look at the EQ really fast. Yeah. Span wasn't showing, but I think it's just so low that it's just like, I don't want it there. Okay. Something like that, and then I don't think my bass is at a good level, so let me bring up this, and then the mid bass. Yeah, that seems a little too loud. Where's the sub at? I guess they're kind of around the same thing. I don't... Wait. How do I slip code them again? There we go. Okay, so something around there is good for now. This doesn't need to be perfect yet because just get this part done. What I want to work on now is writing some music before we waste all the time working on this. Yeah, because it's been 20 minutes. So I'm going to set up the track layout really fast. I think this is going to be towards the end over here. We'll take this section. That'll be this. I will do a normal hardcore setup here. I don't need all that. Do A sharp. Come on. What the heck? Okay. Doing a little intro here. I'll drop into that. This will be towards the end. I guess we'll do a longer hardcore song. I don't know. We'll figure it out. What is this at in the song? Oh, that dude, we have more than enough time to do stuff. Oh yeah. And then we'll have it come out here and it'll end over here. So this is normal hardcore setup. Just like this. Then we have our breakdown, and then the first time it drops, but I'm gonna set it up like this. So I don't know how long our breakdown is gonna be, but trying to think. We'll say that. And then I'll grab this section. And then I'll grab this section. Like that. And then this section does not need to be this long or this far out. So I'd say something around here, and then I can change it as we go. But this is the entire track basically laid out. So we have this lead and all this. So we're gonna write some chords for it. Um, I hate to use this sound again. Okay, so I just want to write the chord and then I can mess with it from there. All the chords are built in here so you guys can follow along easily. It's made up of majors and minors. So that's our chord. The other thing is from our bass line. It's 1, 2, 3, fourth note up is, or I mean, sorry, the third note up, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Fourth note up is the D, would make it a major, and then if you brought it down to C sharp, it'd be a minor, right? So you can see here, it's only this. That's all there is to it. And then the next note is 1, 2, 3, 3. It's the same spot no matter what. It's just the middle note changes one note up or down. So we can take these, Alt G. What I want to do here, let me get this off of here, and then we can just listen to the chord from the beginning. I want to try to keep these notes like together so we can invert it here. So it's like, and that's it. That's our chord. Um, and this is can also be our pad. I think I like this. We could bring this down here. So it's like this. So that works. Um, I'm gonna keep that in there, and then I'm gonna write to for our chord for the main drop, which will be like this with the notes right here. So just follow the bass line, but we're not gonna hit it on the bass. We're gonna hit it on the notes up here. Hopefully, I'm explaining this well. Hopefully, you guys are learning something. So it'll be like that. Through here. Whoops. Oh, whoops. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just like that. And I'm gonna do this. Gonna bring them down like this, and then just like this. So it just goes in between the bass notes, and it's hitting on the my top lead part. Just like so. And I believe that's it because it's just repeating. Yeah. So so I'll name this chord. We'll do this chord, and we will get some stuff going here. Whoops, not plucked. Go to Serum 2. And we'll add an Avenger for the fun of it. Avenger, and maybe a Spire. And these I'll put on the end over here. So 30, 33 and 34. So we'll start off with this Serum 2. And I'm going to go with one of these sounds here. I'm going to use a super stack sound, maybe. We can just use a factory sound out of a lead for this one. Maybe not something like that. And let's see what Frox and Darwin have cooked up for us in here. Let's see. Beautiful. Reverb, delay, reverb, delay. That's all the reverb on there? Yep. And then we'll do the same for this. We'll turn off the reverb and delay on those, and we add another one of these, and I'm gonna move it over. I think that's what I just chord group. Gonna make a purple just like I'm gonna make a purple just like the other ones. I don't need to name these yet, but I do want to bring them into here. And then we're gonna do the process again where we EQ it and everything. Kind of like that. Down there. I'm gonna do just the same setup I have for the other one, but not as much reverb and probably not as much delay. And we kind of add the OTT after the reverb and delay, so it kind of like combines them together. So it's like a sandwich. I don't know, but yeah, it just sounds nice. Makes it like one whole thing. What else do I want to add to that? Imager. And so I'm gonna clip it now. And limit it. and that'll go right underneath my lead here. And now, oops, need to insert one. And then how I did this, you can take one of these, I renamed it Synths up here, and then you can hit right-click the other ones below it and hit group with track above, and it becomes part of that tab. There's a chord. Let's see. It sounds a little muddy. See, so without it, it just like it's just there and it fills up the sound a lot more. So because without it, it's just like the release might be nice. Pretty good. So at this part,
You just entered. Here's step one. Kick. Here's step two. That's
Pump up the pump this groove. Pump this. Put your hands up. Push the tempo. Push. Remix.
Take a look round at all.
I know.
whatever.
You're gonna
Let's
dig
use this. Let's just use this sample. I don't even care.
I know you're gonna dig this.
So I typically, like I said, I like to write in this perfect saw. And then I like to change the sounds after. So if I do this and go, so this bass line right on here is A sharp on this bridge part, and we want something cool to happen here, kind of. I guess just like a cool down from this.
I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're
like
gonna dig this.
Still like simple.
I know you're gonna dig this.
So that's something there, and then I want to get like some acid in here. So that's his sequence. Over here.
I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. 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 Dig this.
The fuck? What the hell?
Dig this. Dig this. Dig this. Dig this. Dig. Dig this. Dig this. Dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. Dig this. Dig this. Dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. Dig this.
So yeah, I'm gonna do some automations really fast for this acid part here. So we want that, and then I want to do this part as well, the depth. Can I do that? Depth. Or am I not allowed to do that part? I don't know, I've never done that part. Darn, that part's like really cool too. Just open up. Is that what this is? Hmm. Wait. Automation slot number 45. Oh, cool. So it's here. I learned something new just now, so.
Dig this. Dig this. Dig this.
Maybe remove this for a second.
I know you're gonna dig this.
There we go. Yes.
I know you're gonna dig this.
So we'll do another one.
You're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig. I know you're gonna dig this. 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 I know you're gonna dig this.
Deep blue glitch.
I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this.
What is it? What is it doing to the sound? Dude, wow. This part, I'm sorry about this part. I don't know, but it led me to this.
You're gonna dig this. Dig this. No, you're gonna dig this. No, you're gonna dig this. Dig this. No, you're gonna dig this. Dig. I know you're gonna dig this.
Oh, that's why it's so glitched out because I need to make another automation. Right here, we need to activate it only on this part. Otherwise, it like is all messed up. Okay.
I know you. I know you. I know you're gonna dig this.
That's pretty cool though. Okay, so yeah, man, I feel like maybe this one wasn't as good, but I needed something to put out, and I want to explain a little bit more so we know where the project is. Hopefully, we got something out of this. But here's where we're ending right now.
I know you're gonna dig this. Dig this. Dig this. Dig this. Dig this. I know you're gonna dig this.
It's okay. It's okay. The idea is coming. The ideas are there, right? I don't know what we're gonna do here. I should sleep and then I'll probably record another video tomorrow and I'll be out like next week. But hopefully you learned something from those, and yeah, we'll start off from here next time I see you. Again, thanks for watching. Hopefully this was good and you learned something and had fun with me. I had fun. I'm looking forward to making another one of these, and I'll see you guys around. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, subscribe. And I have more videos coming out. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining me. Bye.